It's a program that's been in schools for almost 3 decades. You may even remember taking it yourself. D.A.R.E. You might have a 4th or 5th grader, too, going through the program right now.
But this year, Minnesota D.A.R.E. has 22 new officers.
And as the demographics of Minnesota's population continue to change, so do the D.A.R.E. officers who serve. And that includes 2 of the first Somali D.A.R.E. officers from the Columbia Heights Police Department. They are Officer Mohammed Farah and Ibrahim Farah. I recently sat down with who the kids call Officer Mo to learn more about the program. And this morning, he is our Minnesotan to meet. Officer Mohammed Farah immigrated to Minnesota with his family in 2002. As a 9th grader at Rochester Mayo High School, he didn't speak English, so serving in the police force seemed like a far-off dream.
I immigrated in this country. I've never imagined being a police officer. Certainly my parents did never imagine me being a police officer. Because of where I grew up, growing up in the civil war.
4 years ago, he achieved his goal when he became a member of the Columbia Heights Police Department.
Very challenging, demanding career. And certain people cannot really do it. You have to be, you just gotta, it has to be in your blood or something to be a police officer.
As a D.A.R.E. officer, Farah, or as the kids call him, Officer Mo, is fostering relationships with students at Valley View Elementary School.
Do you like your job? I do. I really, every day is different. I'm doing something different. I'm not just doing the same thing over and over again.
The executive director of D.A.R.E. Minnesota, Kathy Ackerman, says this is a critical time, not only for Officer Mo, but also the kids.
Getting in the classroom, forming a relationship with children that will extend beyond, but in doing so, we talk to them about safety information. And now in today's world, it could be a variety of different topics.
Ackerman says the relationship development goes both ways.
But the other strange thing that we didn't know would happen with D.A.R.E. is that the officers are humanizing the children as well. They're not just a community of kids. Now they have names and personalities, and he begins to learn from them as they learn from him.
Officer Mo is set to serve on the D.A.R.E. Diversity Council. Ackerman says to help better fit the D.A.R.E. communities that they serve.
How big of an impact do you think it can have on young people when you start educating them about these issues at a young age?
These kids will actually help you introduce their families when I'm out in the patrolling or doing or like when I run into them on calls. And they can see like, oh, this is Officer Mo, who's my D.A.R.E. officer. So now you're just more than a police officer who just show up on a call. You're just part of that kid's life.
Officer Mo says recently he was out on a medical call and he ran into one of his D.A.R.E. students. He said it made a huge difference when responding to that particular emergency situation. And I think that when he is out patrolling, the kids see him and they really do get really excited to see him because they have that relationship with him.
It's for many young people your first interaction with a police officer, so having that positive start makes a lot of sense.
It's a big difference.
Yeah. Thanks, Allie.